or as they used to say back in the 80s, hello everybody peeps. Right, what we're going to have a look today, see what's going on with these. Ooh, spooky music cue. So, first on up, it's something I haven't been able to do anything with strap-wise because it's such an early model. Not about that. Yeah, exactly the right time. Works beautifully. This had for over a year been in my saved searches on eBay, and I watched it go down from about £20 to £6, and I thought £6 plus a couple of quid of postage from Russia. This is a very, very early Boctok. Right, you know, when this was made, Joseph Stalin was Prime Minister, President of Russia. You know, it's ancient. And you can see where Boctok, they've got their cues from. It's like this is like the octagonal. And you see the tiny little second hand at the bottom spinning around. I mean, you know, it's got a date function on it. Like, you know, in a time when date functions were really not common. So, you know, now obviously this needs a clean. It does need a lot of a clean. It's the only one of these that I've got that's actually fully serviced. Right. And that was the thing, see, like the person who was selling this, they actually said, well, we can't sell it like this, nobody wants to buy it. So they went and got it serviced. Look at that, lovely bit of history. Now all I've got to do is find a nice bracelet for it, and I've got spring bars for it. And then I'm going to give it a nice gentle clean inside and out, and I'm going to leave it as is. And you know, I mean, it's not very big. People will say, oh yeah, that's more of a lady's watch, but no, this is actually a very, very much a man's watch of its time. That's how big men's watches were. So there you go. Now here comes something, a grail. Now, this one I need to regulate because, like, somehow the arms got disturbed, whether in transit, so that's why it was playing up. It does need to be regulated. It's a good watch, good solid Soviet Slava. Well, this is what happens when you get one. This is what that Slava would have looked like. How about this then? New old stock, never been worn until me today. Of course, you know me, I've been having this on, like, you know, absolutely. This hasn't been renovated. This has never ever been worn. It's keeping it amazing time. And you know, it is utterly flawless. Apart from, yeah, there's a little tiny like blemish in the steel there, but that's more likely done at the factory. Look at that. Absolutely flawless. I haven't set the date up on it. I keep thinking, oh, I'll set the date up on it, but I haven't. Look at that. And it's got Sekonda instead of Slava. Now Sekonda. Right, Sekonda was basically the way to make it available that they could sell Soviet watches in Britain without incurring the wrath of the British people or the British government. You know, and it was clever how they done it as well, because like Cornavin was pretty much the same sort of arrangement, so that they could sell Soviet watches in America. because nobody would buy it, you know, people are never going to buy something called Slava or like, you know, Poljot or anything like that. So what it did was they found new ways of rebadging it. So, you know, I mean, that's really clever. Look at that, it's absolutely flawless. It really is. You know, that square chunk is virtually covering the whole of my wrist. Look how big it is. So, there's a third thing. I won't go into too much detail on this one, because I'm going to do a video with this one. We bought the other day up at Aldi's. Try and get that all in there. A complete calligraphy set. It's got 3 different size fountain pen nibs, it's got inks, it's got instructions, it's got like a book there, and an artist pad. That's the artist pad. I'm sorry, it's a bit of an awkward angle, you can see. But it's cost £6 from Aldi's. You know, picture of the pen, and you know, over the years, because I don't type, I don't write so much, like, you know, my handwriting has suffered atrociously. So, I mean, it's a shame, but you know, we should take. Oh yeah, that was the other thing as well. I changed the strap over on. Isn't that gorgeous? Not as gorgeous as that, of course, but it's not a distressed guide. This is like, you know, this is a polished guide. You know, this is how it should be. You know, I love these ring NATOs. Or Zulus or whatever you call it. I get confused. I mean, they call it a 5 ringer, right? And I can't see how it can be, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So where's the 5th one, unless they refer to the fact that this makes a ring like there. Anyway, I digress. Let's go to the up view and we'll see what happens there. So, how's that for an ostentatious? Look at that brand new watch, £14. I stayed up all night to catch that auction, because the auction finished quite early in the morning. I think it was last Sunday night, and I thought, oh, I can't let this get away. Like, I didn't even think it was like this. I thought it was like, you know, in as good condition as this, right? You know, and I thought it was just like a very clean used watch. I was not expecting its original box. I was not expecting any of it. Like, you know, and let's not forget little Boctok as well. You know, I mean, that's I like that. It's got a charm to it. You know, I mean, you wouldn't be like, you know, you wouldn't be like unashamed to give it to one of your nephews or your son, like, you know, as his first like man's watch sort of thing, or, you know, because they're so anti, like, agender, like, you know, you could give it to a girl as well, like, you know, I mean, I suppose you would define it with like a, you know, like a lady's bracelet or strap, or a man's bracelet or strap. Look at that. Let's see if we can get a good shot going on there. I mean, you know, you think about it, that's potentially like, what's it, 50, 70, that could be anything up to 73 years old. Because it looks identical to my known 1947 Boctok. I the fact it still works. A testament to an era, you know, where things, you know, they weren't just made, they were crafted by people, because people thought that was the best thing to do. It was, you know, they felt invested in making these things. You know, I mean, when companies like British Leyland, like, you know, were like, you know, British Leyland cars were very, very good. But unfortunately, you know, when they were on strike and, you know, and everything else, they were very, very bad. And that's what destroyed British manufacturing, pretty much. And like Russia, like, you know, they were starved. I mean, you know, these managers who operated, like, you know, these factories, like first Moscow watch factory and stuff like that, they had to be innovative because, like, they didn't have access to, you know, great stacks of resources and quality stuff, so they had to make do, you know. And they started working with aluminium and copper and brass, like, you know. They were the first adopters of instead of using gold plate, of using chrome plated brass, because it was cheap and it lasted, you know. And I mean, that's, I'm not sure if that's stainless steel or brass, like, you know. Look how I just got, you know, brand new 1970s automatic Slava based Sekonda with box as well, like, you know. I mean, £14, you know. So that's the third. I've got three. I've got that what's it, Sekonda, which is a Rakita based TV, gold plated AU10, like that I put onto that very, very expensive gold brick rally driver's bracelet. That's never been used. And that very early 70s, possibly 60s ruler, RUHLA. That had never, I mean, that's never ever been was like this. There's not a scratch. I mean, you know, look at that. That's all like big, chunky, solid steel. But what I might be doing is, I've got a couple of these now lurking around, like these bracelets, is I might knock this bracelet off and replace it with a used one, just to keep the bracelet nice. Because obviously, you know, I mean, up until like recently, like, it would have been one of these amphibians that I would have been like to have been buried with, like, you know. But now I've got this, so I think it would be that. You know, it's just weird, isn't it? I must give myself a haircut. I'm trying to get to a point, the courage to actually just shave the sides down, right, and then let it all kind of flatten down, and, you know. I'm tired of, like, you know, like having a chrome dome and all the rest of it. So, last ostentatious look at the old Bizzo. Not forgetting. That's where it should be. You know, and this thing, it keeps astonishing time. I mean, you know, I've nailed it down. I've regulated it down to a point where it's not losing more than 1 or 2 seconds a day. You know, it was just call up by A time, right? You know. It's lost 3 seconds since I wound it up yesterday morning. So 3 seconds in a day. I mean, for a cheap mechanical Russian watch, like, you know, I mean, there are some Seikos that can't get that, you know. And yeah, I was just checking that on 29. You can see that just there, 29. 29. You know, and I will do the date. I'm a bit loath to doing the date. I'll tell you why. Because on these, you've got these like little buttons there in this kind of split part of the case, and if you're not careful with them, you can actually scratch the case up quite badly. And I don't want to knacker my case. I don't, you know, I just got it. Like, you know, I mean, I will not be wearing this to work on cars. Trust me on that one. You know, and because it's got a box, I'll just sort of take it off, pop it in, and posh, job done. So I hope this finds you well on this Wednesday morning. Like, it's, I mean, I've been quite rough. I don't know what's the matter. Like, I can't seem to be able to stay vertical. Like, you know, I mean, if I'm sitting up like this, like, you know, this is the first time I've been able to sit up for ages. Like, you know, I just feel like I'm going to fall over. And you know, and I'm just, the heat was just so bad for me yesterday. It was really, really oppressive, and I just can't put up with it. I really can't. You know, it's getting me down. You know, I mean, it's just, I mean, I've got my wounds playing up. Brisket part of it is like, you know, it's a click, 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 clunk, click, click, and when it clunks, it's like, you know, it's like, you know, like somebody's just hit you in the chest full swing with a, like, you know, 14-pound sledgehammer, you know, and it's not the heart, it's the actual joint, it's the bone, you know. So I'm not very depressed with it all, like, you know. So we shall see. Like, bloody bank done it to me again. I don't know why, but they'd be lumping up all my payments that are due out. Instead of paying out when they're due out, they'd be holding them back and then not paying them out in one go, sort of thing. So what happens is, one of my goes to think to myself, oh well, that's paid and I've got some money and all that. There's no money left. It's like, what? I haven't got very much, like, you know, on the radar of buying. I've got plenty and plenty and plenty to do, like, you know, to fix up and everything. I mean, I'm working on trying to get this working. It's not working. Like, you know, I've repaired and cleaned the coil ends and everything, so I don't know what's wrong with that. I know, so I've got, like, as you can see, there's little boxes of quartz parts, like, you know, I'm working on. So you know, I mean, here's like, you know, is the quartz tank, you know, which again has been dropping time. No, it's not. Oh, sorry, just going to tell it off. But every so often, it just seems to drop a couple of minutes. You know. I've got this on the big red Soviets, big red stars bracelet, because I think this is just about. You know, I've got it upside down. You've got it upside down as well. You know, this is amazing. I love this. You know, I'm going to give this another, like, cursory casing thingy pass over. You know, as you can see, like, you know, I love big chunky watches. You know, like the song about I like big butts and I cannot lie. Well, I like big chunky watches and I cannot lie. Like, you know, I mean, you know, look at the size of those. That'd do me. Right. This is lovely. I mean, this is solid link, as you can see. It's a screw link as well. You know, nice, easy clasp. I mean, it's nothing special. It's very easy to work with. I mean, and that's part of the magic with a watch as well. If you want to love a watch, you know, you've got to get your watch to a point where it loves you. I love these, like, you know, these big old bruiser, like, bracelets. Like, by the way, this bracelet could fit onto that. Like, you know, if you look, if it's just that square link at the end, that's different. Getting the bracelet that you want or the strap that you want makes all the difference. I mean, this thing here, I love the watch, although this dial I'm looking at that now to put into that square canteen crown case, right? I can't stand these silicone rubber. It feels like you've got slimy rubber johnnies all over your arm, right? You know, it's not good. I think that's been a very good. I've put a new battery in it, like, you know, £2 Z, you know, it's got very, very bright lume on it. Let me just show you all. You'll love this. This is why I want to put this into something else, but I don't want to keep it. Glow, glow, glow. Stays light. I mean, loses its luminosity, like, you know, in what we can see in a bright environment like this quite quickly. But when it's outside, it stays luminous for absolutely ages. So, oh yeah, like, I've been working a bit on this. This has proven to be, I need to find a decent enough mandrel to get that formed properly. That will go onto something, like, you know, I mean, we shall see where that one goes. And I just thought about something as well. I found a bracelet the other day with a very small tang, which also freed up another, like, Soviet coffin. You know, I'm going to take that off and probably put it onto the other thing, but anyway, I digress again. I do beg your pardon. Sort my babies out. One thing I like about this is it's got the lower quadrant. See there, like the Seiko 7009. So it's these small design cues that make the difference. You know. In fact, yeah, they're about the same, right? You know, the thickness. I mean, this has got a lot of heft to it. This one feels a bit lighter. But it's a Sekonda tank. I mean, you know, it's a grail for me. You know, I mean, this is Slava, 24-27 movement, right? This is 24-27 movement. It's Sekonda. Right, so I want to have, if I get something I know that's got a Sekonda counterpart, I want to get the counterpart, and I never thought I'd ever get this. It just popped up, like, you know, and it's like, wow, I'm having that, like, and I did. I blame Gary for all of this, really, you know, because he's always mean to me, like, you know. When I asked him to lend me £1 million the other day, he said, "No, sorry, mate, I ain't got it." You know? It's no excuse. This one I will do. I might even put this on a bund, like, or a cuff. I don't think the Soviet cuff will work. I think that's a bit too large. Not much though. I mean, I could notch it, get me out of trouble, sort of thing. I think that could work. It's a bit hard to hold it, like, yeah, I think that could work. Just put a little notch in, or, you know, so you can, like, slide in there. Yeah, I have lost. I think I've got a silver metal bracelet which had for some reason it's like its end bit was like 14 mils, and I thought to myself, that's a bit weird. As you do, because I think everything's weird. But, like, you know, right, let's put that up there, out of the way, so it doesn't get knocked down by cat's tails. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.